welcome to Down with Dragons here on Monsters of Roll on Twitch. I am DM Scott. With me, as always,
Killian playing Maven Corpseflower, the Circle of Spores druid, who's not really sure what to do next, but they know they can't stay here.
And Mick playing Calenden, the wacky warlock / bard.
Chris playing Viet. Sorry. Barbarian. Trying to do Ranger Barbarian who is not in his right mind after 10 years in a prison and now just jumping places, and he's really confused. And yeah, thanks.
And Catherine playing Juniper Swift, who is probably just as confused about why we're here. Why are we all here?
What's the point? My favorite game to play.
I mean, it's the best one. And thankfully, we're all here on Friday at 7 Central Time. Yeah, Central, yeah.
We'll get it. We'll get it one of these days.
We'll get one day. We'll get there. I'll just like 3, 2, 1, you know.
Then the show's over. If we all get it at the same time, we have to
Yeah, that's
stop.
the last episode is just when we all synchronize.
Yep.
Before we get in, we just have a few brief announcements. Killian, toss it off to you.
Hey, Scott, is that you over there? I'm getting some interference. You sounded a little different than you usually do.
Can we just is there anything we can do? No, Killian, I hear you. Yeah. What do you have for us, Killian?
Oh, hey dear folks. I'm tracking an elk up here in the Great White North, and it's been a right doozy. So I've only got a couple minutes here before I gotta get back to it. This bit will never get old to me ever in my life. We do have some announcements. Yay! We'd like to thank Reed for the inspiration this week. I would especially like to thank Reed because I deserve the inspiration. You're absolutely right. That was scrolling across the screen at beginning of the show. So if you want to see your words of art, that was kind of a pun. I tried. If you want to see your words on our screen, go ahead and send us a message or tag us on Facebook with the hashtag inspiration and let us know. What did you like? What did you not like? That's really, I mean, you could say anything else, but that wouldn't make too much sense to give inspiration. So go ahead and do that down below. Also, big news. Well, medium news. Redbubble is having an apparel sale. So if you want to check out our merch in the link down below, you will get 25% off on all apparel. I did just order some Christmas presents for my family as a shameless plug for this show. So go ahead and get somebody you love some cute apparel today. Last but not least, we do have a sister show, Dungeon Patrol, that shows every Sunday. I don't know what time. 7 p.m.?
They
upload every
drop
Sunday.
on all the podcast things like Monday mornings. So.
Oh, great. They upload every Monday morning now. I did not know that. Oops. But they're great. You can find them at www.dungeonpatrol.com. They are our sister show. So if you like Down with Dragons and you don't have enough Dungeons and Dragons in your life, let's be honest, who really does? Maybe us, but I'm not sure about anybody else. You can go ahead and check out their show at www.dungeonpatrol.com. Hey, dear Scott, big bucks on to move here, so I got to get going. But see you later, folks. I'll see you next week. Take care. Oh, take care, and happy Thanksgiving. All right. Yep. Bye-bye. No.
Happy hunting.
No, you.
You gotta disconnect. All right. Thank you, Killian, as always. And then also for next week, as Killian pointed out, it's Thanksgiving. And so a lot of people are going to be with families and all that. But if you're traveling and want to listen or whatever, we are still going to do an episode next Friday at 7 Central Time. It'll be a fun little one shot. Not all of the regulars can be with us, but most will. We will be doing a one shot based on a little bit of a brief look at what happened to Juniper when she first woke up from death.
What?
Yep.
There you go.
So
Attack of the
we started-
turducken.
Attack of the Turducken. Yep. So as we started off this whole season with kind of doing little backtrack episodes to let us see a little bit about each character, this is a perfect opportunity to do the same thing for Juniper. So, Catherine, can't wait to what you have in store for us.
Heck yeah.
All the rigorous planning.
So, yeah, you're running it. I'm not.
Oh no, I hope not.
So let's dive in to this week. Before we do, last time on Down with Dragons, our group was in a just nail-biting battle amongst themselves. Something got into Viet's mind, which maybe had some bad outcomes in the end. And Murdet, who is the half brother of Callan, and they were controlled to deal with the rest of the party. It was kind of a roller coaster up and down of who had the advantage, what was going to happen. But thankfully, to the quick thinking and clutch ideas, each one, Callan, Maven, and Juniper all had moments of just having clutch moments. Nobody died, which, hey, oh no, wait, somebody did. The creature, because of a horrible swarm of amikas, which are the deadwood, like piranha squirrels, which
2 more
took
rounds, we would have
down
had
the
them, Scott.
creature.
2 more
I
rounds,
know,
we
I
would have
know.
had them. We would have TPK'd them all.
Yeah. You would have.
And after the haze cleared, a lot of salty words exchanged from Murdet to Callan, and Viet having his mind controlled again. He went a little off the rails and started to eviscerate the corpse of the creature. And once Murdet back on his feet and thinking and coherent, knocked Viet out and informed the rest of the group that with the effect that was upon both of them, he kind of shared connection in a hive mind kind of state with Viet. And in a bitter but sweet moment for Juniper, admitted that Viet's not okay, and we have to deal with this in some way, in some capacity. We have to deal with this, and that's where we're going to rejoin our adventure, right there at the end of that kind of sentence of he's not okay, and he's looking down at Viet, who's just laying on the ground next to the very, I mean, emaciated. You can't even really tell what this creature was, except that also Viet is covered in the gore as well. And there are some amikas standing around that are just watching, that have like watched the crazy person go even more like, oh, he's doing really well, we'll just watch, and they're just eating chunks, you know.
That's an image.
So that is where we are. Murdet just told all of you that it's like, you know, he's like, we have to deal with this, and looks at all of you, and I don't know if any of you understand this, not in the way, unfortunately, that I do now. It's not just what he went through. Kind of glancing down, and like you can see, like he's looking at Viet, but he keeps, every time he like sees him, there's almost like a wince, and then looks back at all of you like, I don't think he thinks we're real. I don't think that he knows if any of this is real.
Huh.
They did so much to him that his reality is very fluid concept.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Any islands we can use as landmarks in that fluidity that you saw while you were there?
He kind of looks around. I really couldn't resist. Sorry. I don't know this. It's kind of outside my. I never dealt with this stuff, and you see some kind of glance pass over his face, and he's like, "Agenor was better at this."
What wasn't Agenor better at? He keeps saying this. Come on. Stand up for yourself, Murdet.
Yeah, Murdet.
You're unconscious, Viet. Speaking of which, roll me a Constitution saving throw.
I'm just gonna rain it every time I talk. You're just gonna make me roll something horrible.
Maybe. Maybe Chris will be quiet.
Constitution saving throw would be an 8.
Okay, perfect. You're unconscious. So he looks kind of like Callan, always has a little bit of a kind of a Joker vibe to him a little bit too, but he also has a certain level of confidence. He knows how to handle himself and all that. Right now he looks very stripped down, and like you just see his hands clenching and unclenching and just can't hear you, Catherine Juniper. Can't hear you.
I don't even know where to start.
We're in a pickle. Maven says.
Yeah.
Not to be obvious.
So Murdet, Agenor deals with things like this a lot, or did deal with things like this a lot?
He just kind of gestures in that kind of to himself of like, he helped me with a lot of anger and stuff like that. And so like, yeah, he's good at mind, body, all of that. Yeah. It's part of the teachings at the Open Way Monastery. I wasn't the best at some of it, but I was better at other parts. And this was one of my weaker subjects.
You were a little lacking in it a few minutes ago too, eh?
We don't need that right now, Callan.
I'm sorry.
What state is the creature corpse in? Is the head intact?
Oh no.
No?
No. Not in the way Viet lost it. I mean, it was his full hammer going for a good 20, 30 seconds of just.
I would like to get into Viet's pack and get that book that he showed me, that his doctor friend gave to him.
The Swanky Dangles book is gone. It went to the.
I never want to see that book again.
Is it though? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he's unconscious. He's just laying there. Yeah, you can kind of tip him over a little bit, and
yeah, she just kind of wants to like sift through there and see if there's anything in there that's not anatomy that might be able to help in this situation.
Yeah. So you
the
kind of tip him
DSM-5.
a little bit more to the side, open his pack, and pull out that book. Viet, roll me another Constitution saving throw.
Oh no.
That would be a nat 20. Plus
No.
4 is a 24.
I'm just kidding, I'm kidding.
So you kind of start coming to. Your head hurts a little bit. Feels like someone might have hit you in the back of the head. But you also just feel very gentle hands kind of pulling something out of your pack, and you can hear everyone kind of talking around you.
So in his pack, June, you can be rummaging through. There's the medical text. There's 5 medical texts, big, like fairly big ones. One of them has his letter tucked into it. Be careful with that. There's a hammer. There's a hand axe. There's some rope.
She definitely cuts herself on the hand axe trying to find the book.
It's strapped to the side, right? There's a tankard, kind of a cup, and a water skin strapped to the side. And his shield was kind of strapped on he had a shield on his arm. So that's pretty much it's in the. He's got a sack too, but
she's just looking for the book. Yeah.
And now you would have seen that's where he over the last couple of days, like that's as he's digging stuff in it.
Yeah.
Y'all live together. I mean,
he's very carefully he moved everything, all his components and stuff into a sack at his side, and the backpack is basically just the books and a couple other things strapped to it. So
okay, yeah, she's not trying to rifle around in his stuff to like see. She literally just remembers this book and wants to see if there's anything that might be able to help with this sort of situation. Not that she's holding out any hope for it, but.
Okay, so you wake up to someone pulling out stuff from your back.
To make a dexterity.
He's still a little out of it.
Okay. So you pull out those. Roll me an investigation check. What are you trying to look for?
Gosh, anything. She would be looking for anything that involves dreams, hearing voices, like because those are the 2 things that she kind of has had experience with. Also, Murdet mentioned like that in his head, so she's looking for anything that it pertains to that, I suppose.
Yeah.
Investigation. Ooh, that's not bad. That's a 19. What do I have? I don't know.
Crawl up, basically get to his hands and knees at this point. And I think Kevin
20.
hit me.
Murder will just kind of like cough, and he'll back up a step, and you can see he's ready, and he's no, I did it.
Just breathe and.
Why were you hitting? Why were you hitting me? My head hurts. Why were you hitting me?
Rails. Juniper, while you're looking through that and kind of skimming as he's starting, just before he's starting to come to fully, you do see there's plenty of things that talk about all of the things you just said, and all of them coming at it from a completely observational, clinical of like head trauma and things like concussion, like, and not even saying concussion, but state of like brain injury or like head injuries and symptoms with like a bigger potential underlying, nothing on an emotional or kind of therapeutic kind of, it's only looking at it clinically biology.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
Maybe 1 or 2 like little footnotes talking maybe about like, imagine like the footnotes that were the precursor to someone going down the line of like lobotomy to like take care of brain abnormality,
Okay. Well, we're not, I don't want to be that drastic.
Ooh, dibs. I have an ice pick.
The precursor. We're not to the full explanation of the idea to relieve brain pressure and,
What if, hear me out. What if Maven invents the ice pick lobotomy?
I mean, if anyone would.
Okay if I heal you just a little bit?
My head hurts, but I think I'm okay.
Do you mind if I touch your arm?
My arm? What was wrong with my arm?
Nothing. I just want to make sure you're okay with contact.
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna
hold his hand up to see if he can.
As she's doing this and you're doing that, Murdet is very much on guard, and he's just like, Viet, where are you?
We are in the prison.
Look around.
Oh, good on you, Mishluk. He's going to be reaching for the pick that I'm assuming got dropped next to him. Unless someone kicked it out of the way.
No, not yet. But he if you're reaching, he's gonna, unless you're gonna try to grab it before he kicks it away, we can roll off.
Yeah, it's still a little punchy, so I would think Murdet would have a chance.
So as you kind of reach, he'll just kind of put his foot gently on top of it. And he's like, you can have it, just talk to us a little bit first.
Head hurts. Where is the hammer? The lady the clouds gave me, the dancing lady gave me a hammer. That's a good hammer.
Mick can't hear you.
Speaking of your hammer and heads hurting, Callan won't finish that sentence.
Did you get hit with the hammer?
Uh-huh.
Or was it Kevin?
Yeah. Nope, it was the hammer.
No.
It was the hammer.
Kevin was lunch meat soon after you checked out. So
You're welcome.
What did he actually get you?
Yeah, the Amikas 100% are just, you can like, all of you look around at that thought and they're like,
We should try it out and make good jerky.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
He was looking very plump for some reason.
I'm gonna June's gonna try the only thing that she's got left sort of in her. She's pretty exhausted, but she's got one thing left to try. And that's lesser restoration. She's gonna touch his arm and try to help somehow with that. Some sort of disease condition. That is her last.
Do you have spell slots still available for this?
I have a 4th level spell slot that I'm going to be using.
Okay.
For lesser
Fair.
restoration.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So she's just gonna concentrate real hard on that that dark spot in his mind, the darkness that he has described before. And that is what she wants to concentrate this effort at, is maybe not banishing it, because she knows she can't do that, but maybe just lighting a candle there.
Yeah. So as you focus and do this with the level you casted it at, all of the, like, let's just say the effects of a concussion kind of drain away, and you get that focus and that sharpness back, or as sharp as Viet is. So it did help with a little bit, but beyond that,
He'll kind of sit up on his haunches a little bit and kind of roll his shoulders a little bit. That was helping. Thank you, June. Thank you, Juniper.
We shouldn't stay here.
well, wait, June, are you done with that book?
Oh, yes, sorry, Viet, I borrowed your book. I
Okay.
thought it might help you.
We need to find someone who can use those books.
Well, yeah. Do you mind, Viet? Can I look through it?
The book? Yes, you may. Do not set it on fire.
Oh no,
You
no, no,
fool.
of course not. I was just seeing the arrangement of the whatever the creature that attacked us here, sitting here. The arrangement of all of his parts.
Fiat would look down at the gore and
Kind of noticed
yeah.
he's got
It's
a
a
little
mess.
bit of the same kind of stuff that's in the book.
like,
but
waist down, that anatomy's there.
right. So yeah, I want to
Fiat
make
will
a
kind of
little
shudder, as
closer
he sees it,
examination of that.
turn away and look away from it and start getting to his feet.
Murder will
Find my
just kind
hammer.
of still have his foot on the war pick, and just kind of, as you kind of try to come to your feet, kind of puts his hand on your shoulder. Yeah, just hang on. Let's take a minute. I guess
need to find
kind of
my
looking to
hammer.
everyone else. Yeah, we'll find it. We'll find it. We'll find it. Like you know you're in the desert.
Prison desert. Yes, sure. We should keep moving.
Why?
For the Godonia Mishlak find us again.
What is that?
Hmm?
The
What the Gadonia Mishlok?
Yeah. Yeah, what's that?
The Mind Chatterers. The Mind Chatterers, they run this prison. They get inside our heads and make us see things that are not being there,
Oh,
yes?
them.
Oh.
Yeah.
Murder's
I
just
know
gonna
that.
give you all that look again of like,
Yeah,
I know. I
Well,
went to high school with those guys. They're really not that scary.
Yeah, we're not in
know.
a prison.
well, Murda, just based off of what just happened, that doesn't sound too out there, right?
I mean, I feel like I'm in hell. So
Uh
Yeah,
So-
we are not in a prison.
And it's nighttime now, correct?
by this time, because it's like before you were right on the edge. Now it's night. Yeah. And speaking of which, everyone, passive. I gotta get it down. You know what? Just everyone roll me. Except, you know what? Viet with disadvantage. Roll me a perception check.
Callan got a dirty 0.
Ooh.
15.
He is really fixated on this bug creature
Yeah.
and comparing it
Yeah.
to the book now, since he's got another reference, and if there's anything else that the creature had on it, going through that and stuff, but he's got some stuff working in his mind about it right now.
Well, this book that Juniper was looking at is medical books on people.
Right, but there's like things that look a little bit similar
Okay,
to the
sure.
you know,
Yeah, no,
so,
okay, no, okay. Just making
you
sure.
know.
Just making sure.
Yeah. So maybe
Yeah.
there's a way to
I'm
like
really sure that's an appendix right there. I think that's
It's a venom sac and it bursts in your face.
you're talking about the book or the the book or the bug.
Either or.
Right.
Maven, what you get?
25. Oh, sorry.
16.
25
And
with
15 for
disadvantage.
Juniper, 25 for with disadvantage.
Mhm.
All right. So nobody. Oh, let me roll for murder. He is very natural one. He is fixated on Viet. So Viet, you're the one out of everyone who has. They're all kind of looking at you or looking down at a body and then looking at a book, and like all of a sudden you see above them like a falling star that like starts off kind of like coming over the horizon and then starts to have like that arc of where it's like, oh, that might be kind of in our general area. Like that's falling.
We are needing moving. We are needing moving now. We are needing moving now. Where's my hammer?
No.
What?
Murder's keeping his
Why?
hand on your shoulder. He's
Yeah,
like,
why?
we're fine.
I will buck
We're
him.
fine.
Yeah, would buck him off.
Strength saving or athletics or dexterity to his athletics because he's going to try to hold you down.
Yep.
I rolled 18.
14.
So as you're trying to come to your feet, he's like, come on, Murder or Viet, you're fine. Like, it's okay. We're just going to talk for a minute. We're fine.
There.
June will look where he's pointing.
You see a star that looks like it's falling.
Oh yeah, no. Is it just it's not like falling at us, it's just like
And
It's a
about
normal
100
thing.
feet away, it slams into the sand, like, oh, just bam. And there is that kind of sand
Oh, no.
eruption. And underneath, like kind of like a depth charge, there's a of sand that just lifts with light. And then it,
that cannot be good.
and Murdet looks back. He's like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I thought with every, never mind.
Yeah.
Alan got a dirty 0. I don't think he even noticed.
You did this. I mean, this, you know, like that you noticed. And like very quickly after a few moments of everybody in shock and like, holy crap, yeah, he was, you know, there's another little spurt of sand in the middle of it, almost like a geyser for a second.
This really can't be good. You guys, there's not even anywhere we can hide.
And another one.
Oh my.
Maven's gonna get closer.
Even
Callan will
you-
join Maven. That's
oh my
good
God.
idea.
I'm investigating this fallen
Yeah.
star that's geysering sand.
Okay. Either perception if you're just listening, or investigation if you're just kind of getting closer and like trying
I'm gonna do
to.
investigation.
Ooh la. Dun,
Ooh, nice.
What did I do? I can't see.
dun, dun.
You got a 22.
22, baby. Woo!
Dun, 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 dun,
Here we go.
dun, 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 dun.
What?
Did you say that, Maven?
Not this time. Hello? Hello? Oh my God. There's somebody in there.
What?
We got dig him out. I start digging. Maven starts digging as fast as possible.
Ooh, Callan has mold earth. He can help.
Hell yeah.
Between
What
the
are they
two of
doing?
you, very quickly, all of a sudden, you see a hand emerge from the earth you're moving, and like it's a dark, like leathery sleeve. There's all kinds of like rings on the hand just sticking out, and it's just like reaching
Elvis.
around, looking like almost doing like the telescope thing of like,
I grab the hand.
you both pull, and this cloud of sand, the sand person just comes out of the, you know, earth and just all of a sudden shakes off like a dog. You both kind of fall back as you're pulling them out. They're on their knees and just shaking off. And in front of you, all of a sudden, you all see Sealy Grizzle. You see her. I mean, she's covered in sand, but her hair's pushed back. It is tied tight in a ponytail. She's got the goggles on. She looks like she doesn't have all the notes and stuff sticking out of pockets and scrolls everywhere. It looks very tight and like everything's very controlled, put together. And she just
Really?
Kellen. Hey. I think, and she pulls out a pocket watch and just, no, I'm here. Why? There shouldn't be sand here. Why? And she stands up and just starts to walk into the kind of the middle between both of you guys, and just looking around, and pulls out a weird little gadget with like a gyroscope on the top. She's like, no, I'm definitely not where I'm supposed to be yet, but I'm at the right time, but I don't. What are you all doing in the desert?
Long story, we jumped. And then I turned into mist. And then there was an armadillo creature that turned into a tent and sucked all the moisture out of my body.
No,
His
you
name was Kevin.
didn't. Nope, you're wrong. I'm sorry. Nope,
Okay.
that didn't happen.
Well, it did, though.
That's not how that goes.
No, absolutely did happen.
It really did.
Oh,
happen.
Juniper, hi. You
Hi.
made it. Good. Good. We're getting so close to the end. Well,
That's
mine,
not ominous.
not yours. Mine. No, not yours.
Well,
You
we
have
already
a
passed
long
your
way to go.
end, Sealy.
Yep, that's
Yep.
pulling out the pocket watch. She's like, that's my next jump. That's
Ah,
so it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's coming. No, but you shouldn't be here. Like, you don't go to the desert. That's
But we
It is.
did.
It is not being real, dancing lady, if that helps at all.
she just looks at you, Viet, and just walks straight up to you and
We will
just
look for
sniffs
your
you.
hammer. He'll sniff her back.
She'll sniff you
smell
back
like?
again.
What's she smell like?
Yeah, what does
She
she smell like?
smells
Cotton candy.
like no. She smells like wind in a well-worn coat. Like just well-traveled. Still not, I mean, there's nothing, no mildew or anything like that. But I would say like she put ink and parchment and just like the wind in your clothes.
She smells
Um,
good.
and she'll sniff you again, and then she'll look at your hand. May I?
Yes.
And before you say yes, she's just gonna pull out a needle and stab your finger, and then she's gonna like insert it inside of like this crystal, like just crystalline structure, and then just look at you like, it's your fault. You're changing things. I mean, that's good. That means that this is working. We're changing things. We can change it. Okay. Good. You're not supposed to be here. And she looks, oh no. Who killed that? Pointing at the creature.
Viet's shaking his head like he has no clue as he's got bits and pieces of it.
Oh, Sealy, you should have
beard.
seen it. Maven did. She summoned a bunch of death squirrels from Deadwood, you know, those things.
Magic. Magic's the only thing that killed it?
Yeah.
In a roundabout way,
okay.
yeah.
Thank goodness. And she like just puts her hand on like Viet's head. She's like, good. I was so worried because if you had actually like physically killed this thing, like there'd be so much. These are the fomitids, and they like release pheromones and all kinds of things. And so like you could have a whole colony coming after you. But if you only magic did it, you're fine. There is absolutely nothing to worry about. But
wait.
Oh, good. You all
can't damage it at all?
Oh, no, you didn't. It's magic only. Like you're fine. You're fine. No, so you shouldn't be in the desert because right now you should be in Beacon right now. Like
yeah,
that's where
They
you
were
were
headed
supposed
there.
to like you're supposed to go to the monastery. Have you gone to the monastery? You moved to the monastery, right?
We tried.
it's on the list.
It's you know, we were headed that way. And then this little diversion happened.
Well, there was a town full of giant ogre babies. I don't even know what those creatures were.
That's
then
not
this
supposed to
happened.
happen either. No, it's okay. So you all, and she kind of pulls out another wand and kind of waves it towards each of you, and it starts to glow just a little bit. She's like, "Oh, good, you drank the potions. Good,
I'm gonna
you've at
pull
least
out
done
the-
that. You were supposed to have done that already. Like, you did that like pretty much right. The next and she holds up a bandolier that looks very familiar, Callan. She's like, that's where I'm going next. You drank it like right away, right?
Pretty close.
Took us a while, Sealy.
It's okay.
We drank them.
That's
I'm gonna
good.
pull out
That's
the Cryptex.
and you found the ship with no name because
No,
you're in the. And she kind of looks around. No,
I saw it, Sealy. But as far as finding it, I don't think you could really say I found it. I traveled to where it is.
Yeah, in the snow globe, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and you use the key, right?
You mean the
Is that
tuning
what
fork?
this is?
No, the key. You wound up the key on the.
I-
Bleach
no,
has
I'm
the
holding-
key. You found him. He was supposed to meet you. You didn't go to the monastery. This is changed in a bad way. Okay. No, it's fine. It's fine. He has to stop being so broken. And she's pointing right at you, Viet. I guess this way.
relatable. Dang, Sealy.
So we're gonna have to fix. Well, we can't really fix it. I guess. I mean, we can make it not as broke. We can just put a little weld on it, make a dam. We can make a dam that is better than the dam he made because his is bad. His doesn't work as good. But yeah. And then you got to find Leech. Leech has the key. I gave it to him a long time ago to give to you after he left Dragonlock because that was the only way you could get it. Otherwise, you wouldn't ever find it.
And what is the Cryptex doing right now?
Ooh. Right now, you can just thinking of that, you can feel it just vibrating in your pocket.
Yeah, I'm going to take it out.
Okay. And she's like, oh, you still have it. Good. That's good. You're going to need that. You're going to need it. You can't read it here. It's okay. You'll be able to read it soon, though. Oh, unless you keep looking back at it, unless you keep changing it. But that's good, though. The change is needed. The change is needed because otherwise the bad things I see will happen. So I don't know. You'll be able to read it if you do it right. But
Great.
we have to fix you. So everybody's going to have to help Viet so we can fix him enough so he doesn't screw this up in a bad way, but only for a good way.
Well, what do we do?
We're going to have to fix him. And
Therapy?
we're going to have to fix him in his head. Because his head's where the problem is. And she'll kind of just bonk on Viet's head a little bit. And she's like, it's all scrambled like eggs in there. I love eggs.
Me
Do not be eating my head.
Not gonna...
She'll open like on her wrist. There's like a little cuff, and she'll open up. It sounds like Velcro. Like she's the first one in this world, I guess, who made it. And she'll like click a little like wristwatch type thing on her wrist, and all of a sudden, a little bag will just spill out of it, and she'll start to open it up. And she's like, so we're gonna have to do some things. Do we by any chance have manacles for use by any chance?
Oh, do we still have that rope? That self-tying rope?
There are manacles in my bag here.
I have the white rope, the unicorn white rope.
No, you don't have the white rope. I have the white rope.
Didn't you just toss it at me?
I did, and then I
Yep,
picked
and
it
then
up
he-
and
Oh,
ran off.
and then you
he-
recovered it fast. Yes.
Yep.
It's too fast.
So yeah,
for me.
he'll grab. She'll like grab the manacles as you say, like I have, and she'll just dig in your pack. She's like, perfect. So everyone who is under 5 feet tall and has a beard needs to hold up both hands, and she'll manacle both your hands. She's like, that is for our protection. Thank you
That
for
is-
your cooperation.
Probably being good idea, yes?
Next, anyone who has a problem with viewing reality, what's real, what's not, hold up your hand.
Viet will be looking around at everybody.
She'll reach down. It's like, put your hand down. And she's gonna grab Viet's hand and pull it up. She's like, "Oh, good, a volunteer." And she'll open the bag and
I love her
put
so much.
this like contraption on your head. It is this mechanical like leather helmet that has all these wires and bits and bobs and crystals sticking out, and there's goggles that she slides down over your eyes, and it has like a watch, like clock hands on the front. And she's like,
Do I look like
okay.
Doc Brown?
Yeah, that actually is that's a good reference. And she's like, perfect, thank you. And she's going to like secure it under your chin, and like, this will only hurt a lot, but this will fix you with pretty much.
Juniper's gonna go place her hand on Viet's shoulder and just, okay, we're here.
So you are saying yes.
Perfect, because pretty much needs participants. So she's going to reach back in, and she's going to slam a smaller version of that helmet on your head, Juniper.
Great.
And then she'll turn around looking at Maven and Callan holding two more. She's like,
I knew I shouldn't have laughed. Fine. Seely, you're so lucky it's for you.
All right. So this is my own creation. It is an awesome thing. I mean, it's a practically real energy, temporal, intuitive, magically unreal cognitive helmet. So, pretty much. Oh, and there's gloves. And Jill, give you each a pair of gloves that you need to put on. And she's like, all right, in a little bit, all of you have to stop thinking. Don't think about your own things. If you think about your own things, that's only going to translate it into this. So keep your baggage and issues and make your own dam and keep that dam finger in the dike, because your dike can bleed into his river, and his river already has no dike, and we got to build a dike.
Telling me not to think about it just makes me think about it.
Stop thinking
a lot of
about
mommy issues. Is this going to be a problem?
And she's
does
like,
Murdet get the helmet?
she looks at him. She's
Can I
like,
see out of these goggles, or are they all dark and I can't see anything?
right now it's totally dark, and
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, then never mind.
Yeah.
I am not seeing anything. Am I supposed to be
that's
seeing
perfect.
something yet, dancing woman?
You will absolutely in just a moment. These are my all right, so this is going to hurt just a little bit or a lot. I haven't gauged it. This is a test flight for these. I'm pretty sure
good.
these are going to work. We're going into our host mind, slapping on Viet's helmet, and all of you are going to experience a, practically real but unreal reality within the magically created realm within these helmets. So just understand that nothing can hurt you physically, but it can rip apart your mind. So just keep that no stress. You're fine. All right, here we
Viet
go.
will start
And she's
looking
just
a
going to
little
turn a
panicked at that
crank
point.
on Viet's head, and all of a sudden, all of you are just feel like you're falling.
Not again.
And suddenly think of the Matrix, where all of a sudden a landscape just superimposes and zooms in on you. You're all standing on an open grassy plain. In the distance, you can see a bluff of a cliff, and there is a small cottage, it looks like, on the edge of this bluff.
Do
Or
we
this
see
cliff.
each other?
Yeah, you all kind of look at each other. You all look just a little pixelated, just the slightest bit. I mean, it's still proprietary technology. She's working on it. But yeah, you all can see each other.
Do we still have
So you're
helmets
the
on?
animated versions of yourself,
Do I have a cool outfit?
except for you, Via. You're not there.
Okay.
Oh, he's not there.
Nope.
You said we were all there.
Sorry, you are, but not now. Timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly. So yeah, so you're all there, and you kind of look around, and you can reach down, and the grass feels both real and also kind of not.
Fine.
And
Ooh.
then all of a sudden, from the grass, it's like a mixture of leaves blowing and spinning around and collecting. All of a sudden, this small little gnome starts to materialize out of the grass and the leaves. He's got kind of black hair.
Wow.
He's got a streak of blue in it. He is dressed kind of a roguey wizard, put it that way. And he looks at all of you. Oh, well, hello. It's good to see you all. I mean, I guess I didn't expect to see you.
Quincy.
But oh, you remembered. Oh, how lovely.
That's
How are y'all,
great,
Colin, Maven? Lift jaws. Yep. I am totally unreally real.
And you're
Oh,
Quincy.
good.
I've heard
Correct,
so much
Quincy.
about you.
Yes. Think I have experienced quite a bit of you. So quite the tit for tat.
You said tit.
You made me
Yes,
say that.
Maven, I did.
Sorry, I can't help it.
Yeah, what's up with that?
What's
Noted.
what's the cottage?
Oh, this is where Viet is. I mean, well, this is where I keep the sane part of him. Kind of looks like this is like his little slice of heaven, where he is safe, where he's happy and not dealing with any of the trauma or anything like that. This is the version of Yet that is the only part that's worth protecting at this point.
Can you take us to the parts that aren't?
Oh, likely I'm going to have to, but right now, we should probably have a chat with him. Seeing as from the whole thing here, and unfortunately, I am a representation of the part of him that is protecting him, so I'm kind of your guide. Think of me as your unreally real host, as it were, or guide, or well, no, I can't say too much because unfortunately there is code that the dancing lady put in here, but nonetheless, I can help you maybe put a finger in the dike. So, let's go.
Okay.
And he'll kind of start walking towards the cottage.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow him.
Yeah. As I said, this is the most put together version of Yet you could ever imagine. This is the retired, this is the best possible version. What is that Viet doing at this little cottage?
Mashing up some different things for his latest concoction of a tea. He's trying to perfect the recipe. It's really good. It's really close, but he's just trying to get that right. He's trying to toast the almonds a little bit this time, just to see if that gets that flavor that he's looking for, with the rest of the mixture that he's got. So he's got like a little skillet near the fireplace. He's just being very careful, trying to time it just right. So he's got the rest of the ingredients. He's got his kettle of water ready. He's gonna, as soon as it's toasted, he's going to like scoop it into like the mixture and kind of mash it all together. Kind of a conglomeration of mash, and then he's gonna get it into the teapot and swing the teapot over the fire and get it steeping.
All right. So as the four figures start to come towards the cottage, Quincy will kind of walk along with you, and he's like, all right, you're all understand. He had all of the bad things. He really doesn't really remember. This is the part that doesn't need that. He's happy here. So just remember that when you talk to him, and also understand that you kind of need him to come with you to deal with all of the, the things that he really doesn't want to, and he's being shielded from here. Because unfortunately, we're here to fix him. And you can see just a little bit of anger, because part of his job is to protect him from that. And he'll start guiding you towards, and he'll just, oh, there, Viet.
Going in, Quincy.
I
is
brought
almost
some
ready.
guests with me. I brought some guests with me, if you don't mind.
That's fine, Quincy. That's fine. Friends of yours.
Good old friends. No, old friends of yours, I believe. They found their way here. And you will see Callan, Maven, and Juniper.
Juniper, Maven, Dead Flower, Amanita, Callanten,
Anita?
the Fool. It is
Yeah,
good to
just
see
the
you
fool.
all.
You got it. Hey, buddy.
It is good to see you all. Please sit down. I only have one chair, but please or we can sit out. There's a bench outside that looks out over the ocean. I think I have cups. Hold on, let me find cups. He'll go to the cupboard and he'll be rummaging through and find out some cups and kind of polish them up, and any dust that's in there, and he finds like a wooden tray, sets the cups down, pour the tea, pick the tray. Please, yes, we can go. We can sit on the bench. It will be good.
I'll sit on the floor.
Outside, there's
Quincy
a bench
will
on the.
100% make his own with magic and just like, and his is like a little gnome-sized throne, you know.
Or sit there. That is fine. You'll set the tray down and take a cup and offer Maven a cup.
I'll take one.
And June, he'll go back and he'll offer June a cup.
Juniper's going to think about a chair. She's
roll me a
like,
wisdom saving throw.
She's gonna go. Wonder if I can do that. Or you said a wisdom saving throw.
Yep.
21.
However you want to imagine that a chair emerges.
Sweet. It would be one of the wooden chairs from her family home. This is what it would be.
Okay.
Aww.
So just kind of from the earth, some roots grow up and form into this finished chair, and then the roots disconnect.
Just a little tear in her eye as she sits down.
And he'll offer Callan a cup of tea.
Oh, yes, thank you.
And then Quincy.
He'll grab it and immediately, like from his pocket, pull out a flask and just pour a little, and then just kind of look to everyone.
Viet will hold out his cup.
He'll pour a little.
Cheers.
So
Viet will take one of his chairs and sit down, and like he's calm. Like he's not like agitated. He's not looking around in the corners. He's not worried about, right? He's not constantly checking the door. There's no, right? The wind is picking up. It's not like causing him to startle. Like he's just sitting there and he's focused and he's looking at each of you. I got not quite a full smile, but he's got a little bit of a smile, like an upturn to his lips as he's looking at each of you.
I think, I mean, as pleasant as this is, and I really honestly am enjoying all of it, and kind of takes a bigger swig.
This is I have almost got it perfected. It is really, really close. It is like my stepfather, something that he taught me. It's a recipe, but I almost have it.
You'll get there, friend. You'll get there. I have never doubted that you'll recreate it. I gotta say though, I think your friends, like they traveled a really long way to get here, and I think they have some things they want to talk to you about.
Are you hungry? I have some bread. I live simply here. I don't have much in fancy foods, but I would be glad to share with you, my friends.
This tea, it's very good. Maven takes a big fantasy sip of this tea.
Are you actually taking a fake sip, or are you taking
no Maven's
sip?
gonna take a big old glug of this tea.
Okay. What does it taste like there, Viet? Seeing as we asked about smells.
It has hints of like raspberry and some kind of flower similar to hibiscus, and then just this note of a toasted almond flavor that isn't quite right, but you can picture what it would taste like, what it should be tasting like. Like the flavor
Okay, so
count
it's
is almost
actually
there.
good. It's okay.
Have you tried
I'm pleasantly
smoking them?
surprised.
Oh, Quincy, that would be a good idea.
I thought.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Go on.
He's just sipping his tea.
Okay, wait. Quick table talk. So we need to bring him with us
Mm-hmm.
mentally. he's not an ethical thing to do because like this is like he's doing pretty decent, right? He's making fantasy tea in his fantasy brain.
I mean,
You know?
absolutely, that is the conundrum of like there is this little part of him that is like any person who has gone through significant trauma. There is a part of that personality that is sheltered from the rest of it, that is keeping it to where it's happiest. It doesn't mean there's a big, deep, dark forest filled with nightmares that are out there circling around trying to get at it. And so this is the kind of idea of, yes, this is where you're at, where he's safe and happy, but this is not who Viet is. This is the part of him that has been kind of cut off to keep part of him sane. Like this is all kind of halfway been explained and halfway not over the last times we've talked about all this, kind of refreshing it from the dealings with Quincy and seeing him talk to Manny and Fenris and all that stuff. So it's like, this is kind of the culmination of all that information coming to like, this chunk is the part that is being kept sane and safe from the rest of his personality. And as you look out, there's not a lot else here. He is alone here, but he's happy, but he's alone.
If it helps, this is all new to me too.
Yep. Hey, that's part of the fun of D&D, baby.
All right. So I don't know if I understand. What would be the utility in letting this Viet out? Because
Are you asking me, or is this in game?
in the
Okay. I'm making sure.
simulation, whatever. What did you call it? The real,
Practically
not
real, energy, temporal, intuitive, magically unreal, cognitive helmet.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Say that
Is
again.
there an
I'm gonna
acronym
write
for
it
that,
down.
maybe? Or
Yeah, pretty much.
Practically real, intuitive.
Is that patented?
Practically real, energy, temporal,
Registered
intuitive,
trademark.
magically unreal, cognitive helmet. Pretty much. PRETIMUC.
I just got there.
This should fix you, pretty much.
okay.
Oh my gosh. That's it. I'm
It's
done.
so annoyingly silly. Come on. I am proud of that one. I told my entire family when I came up with it. I was like, does this sound like Sealy? And they're like, annoyingly so. I'm like, perfect.
Right. So I think there's a lot of stuff on the road ahead that this Viet, I just don't get why we would want him out at this point.
Oh, right.
It might be because
hey-
otherwise I might kill you all, thinking you're
That's
something
true.
else.
I don't,
You know,
love
and if
Yeah,
if that's something we can take for
He's
granted,
right.
at least that's a constant that's always there. You know, we can deal with that.
So
I mean-
you're absolutely okay with keeping him in the dark and lying to him just because? Because why?
Absolutely okay with it. I'm enough okay with it that I don't see. I need to be convinced about the utility of bringing him out now, because
And
Why do
yeah,
you get
just to
because
be
you
clear,
gotta admit
this is the most, like I said, together you, all of this conversation makes sense to you
Yep.
of, just to make sure, because you can argue your side of like,
Yep.
no, I get it. I might murder you, like you kind of started to do.
Why should you make the decision for him whether he gets to know where he's at or not?
who else is going to make it?
and who made it in the first place?
Who made what?
To be clear, you are
This?
not going to be able to take me out of here without my permission. This is not something that you will be deciding for me.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Exactly.
If that makes you feel any
Consent is
better,
also
Juniper.
always important.
Yes.
Yeah, why do you want to hide?
Why am I wanting to hide? I am not hiding here. This is where I am. This is where this pieces of what my mother named Viet is. It just happens to be being here.
Right. We're happy here. We have a lot of fun. We're making tea every day.
You ever wanted
And
more?
not killing anybody.
Not
Right.
yet.
We don't have to lose anybody else.
Yes, there
part
is
of
that.
life.
And not if you're the one doing it sometimes.
I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but there is a part of Viet still actively out there in the not pretty much world that's killing people left and right.
True.
And he's pretty
Viet, if
good
you
at
don't
it,
mind-
actually.
He is
Yeah,
very
Viet,
good
if you
at
don't mind, this is part of that part that is doing that. This is actually, I mean, technically, this is the part you deal with the most. And he takes, can I borrow that piece of bread that you offered?
Yes, and he'll stand up off of his stool and go over to the cupboard and start rummaging through the cupboard and take.
You'll
down
come
the bread.
back with, yep, he'll grab it and he'll take just kind of like suddenly prestidigitation open and have like an apple core. And he'll just right in the middle of the bread pull out the middle. So this is where we are right now. Viet, why don't you hold that? And he tosses it to you. See, that's Viet. That's the part that you deal with most of the time. Do you see how much bread is left? Yeah, that's the part that's under the surface that isn't in control, that is dealing with a whole lot of other things. How much of that bread pointing at Viet can control that part of the bread? It's a very precarious little balancing act that I have been helping Viet here with for quite some time. And the more those adventures that Callan, that you say he's so good at, the harder it is to keep these spinning plates going.
Not whole. You can't be walking around half a person or a quarter of a person or the tiny little soft center of a person. He's
I
not
like the-
whole.
I like the crusty ends myself,
Oh, sorry.
He
You'll
likes the
put that back
crusty
and
ends.
cut off a
but
butt.
it's kind
There
of
you go.
dry and burnt.
I understand what you're saying, Juniper, and well,
And there are worms in it sometimes.
Well, I-
Weevils too.
Weevils.
I don't really agree that you
Protein.
can't walk around being
kinda lumpy.
not a whole person, but if you had a choice, why would you? So there may actually be a choice here, and maybe we can help Viet with that. Okay.
Hey, Maven.
Yeah.
Just with the direction of Callan's argument, can I have you just roll me a percentile dice? And I
Yes,
want
I
you to,
can.
before you roll,
Joking.
tell me high or low.
Low.
Okay.
Low. Because with my luck, it's going to be low, I think.
What are you doing to her?
Well,
Okay. Called it. As you kind of hearing Callan talk about this, you kind of, as Juniper's words of like that soft little center hit you a little bit as it did, and Callan talking about that, and you kind of avert your eyes and look off just a little bit. And out of like that kind of endless expanse and the sea foam down at the bottom of the cliff, and all of a sudden kind of in the distance you see like a little island out there, and there's like a forest on it, and you see like a little trail of smoke coming up, and almost like you're somehow telescoping in, you see there's a man and a little girl running around in the front, and the mother who comes out standing in the doorway watching them as they play basically kind of hunter seeker, and she's always so good at finding him. And you start to see that idea of the family and the life you could have had, and you see yourself standing there. You see Daruk, and you start to really get pulled towards it as you hear the laughter from your daughter as Daruk is picking her up and spinning her in the air. Roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Gonna go on several rescue missions.
24.
Just as like you feel yourself almost being pulled into the younger version of yourself who is actually living there with a family in this little cottage, this warm little idea of what home could be. You just all of a sudden just have that vertigo moment and pull yourself out and look kind of frantically for a moment, and you see Quincy kind of looking at you with a little finger in the dike, dear. Keep your dike in check.
My daughter's grown. My husband was a rat, and now he's a person.
Are you being all right?
Ha-
Maven Deadflower, Lady of Thorns, Amanita?
it's like happiness might be tempting, isn't it?
Would you like more tea?
Okay. I understand the utility of this place. This is much sweeter than reality, but there is a world outside of here yet that needs you. We need you, and I point around to all of us.
I am not
Hello.
sure you are needing me.
She needs you right
These-
here.
These kind of hold up his hands and kind of clank the manacles a little bit. This is maybe the best way for you all. Maybe it was not being me the witch woman was trying to get killed, yes?
No.
I am not safe, Maven, at the dead flower.
Not in
I'm
this
not safe for
seat.
anyone, even if real or not. I've killed thousands
And
in here.
you'll kill thousands more. Maybe. That's kind of a useful skill with the way that the world is right now. And she gestures to where the Aurora Borealis usually is, that vague, bad, but it's not there right now.
Yeah. Right now it's not there. It's a perfectly blue sky.
Vale will
You
be
are
kinda
no-
clanking the manacles together
Yeah.
a little bit.
Everyone roll me a perception check real quick, by the way.
One of 4.
12.
He's been kind of doing this quietly for a while.
Yeah, that's part of yeah.
2.
2?
22.
22. Okay. Callan, you'll notice the rhythm. But it's sudden because he's just like he's drawing attention to the manacles at this moment in the conversation. Maven and Juniper, you two will kind of, as that attention is drawn to it, you'll realize that he's been doing this for a while. And it's just tun, 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 tun. And you start to think back, and you both repeatedly now thinking of this have seen him tapping his foot when you were sitting inside of Kevin, tapping that same rhythm. You've seen him when you, Juniper, were trying not to like eavesdrop on a private moment when he was talking to Quincy. You've seen his fingers twitching in that rhythm. You've seen him tapping, like you've seen this rhythm for weeks. And it really is drawing your attention to it right now. And Quincy, as you all kind of are like, I just the brain, he's like, right, lots of things. So how are we all feeling? Does anyone need a refill? I know I could use, and he pulls out the flask and just takes a swig straight from it. Anybody just want to go that direction? Because I feel like it's getting, yeah, there we go. And he'll start to pour just straight into Viet's cup. Because I'll be honest, I'm on your team and I'm not feeling a whole lot of give here on the subject.
Yeah, you're just as much in a prison here as you are anywhere.
I'm always in the prison.
Yeah, it's time to come out.
I would if I could, but
You can.
Man,
You
can.
absolutely can.
it's not going to
This
be
is-
easy. It's not going to be fun. It's going to hurt. It's going to hurt a lot.
it hurts. How would I get out? I'm not out. This is not real. The desert is not real. You are not real.
Well, we are real. We're not
That is
real.
what you would say if you're not real, yes?
He does have a point.
All right. Well, we can go into paradoxes all day long.
Seen many places I was not understanding. Many people I was not understanding. People whose memories, I don't know whose memories they were. And always then afterwards, the Godoni Mishlak was peeling us apart. And it was our turn to be screaming as they asked why. They were looking for the why. But it was none of it was real. That killed almost as many of us as I did. Orsik, he put the tattoos, my cousin Orsik, who did my tattoos, he stopped. He was not seeing us in this prison here. He was not eating. He was not drinking. Alberich found some way. My cousin Alberich, he found a way. I don't know what. I am not Alberich. I don't think I am Alberich.
I am pretty sure he's not on the roster.
Viet, you're so strong. Even here, even the stories you're telling me, you're in a prison of your own self-doubt. Yesterday is heavy. Put it down and move forward with us.
Viet is strong.
Viet, you are strong.
He's the strongest mad hammer I've ever met.
You can move on. I mean, not to downplay what you have
Just
been
like-
through, but we all
Just
have
like-
horrors in our past.
The animal that chews its leg off to get out, though. The trapper is still out there. It's in here and in here. I can't kill it. And I'm easy prey for things like this bug creature to make me see things that are not there. Because this is not real.
That wasn't your fault.
But I am.
None of that was your fault. You didn't ask for that. You didn't.
But still, I hurt people. I hurt you and you and you. And I would have
We
killed
hurt
you.
people. That
But we know why. We know it wasn't your fault.
It does not matter if it was my fault or not. I did it. And I might do it
But I-
again.
and it matters how we feel about it. You are no good to us in this half state. You're more dangerous now than you ever were. We need
You
all
are a
of you.
tad bit crazy.
We need all of you.
Yeah,
It
we're here
hurts.
with you.
What if I don't want to be losing any more people.
We're here for you.
I don't
I
want
don't
to
wanna
be
lose you.
losing any more people.
Okay, then don't wish for it. Work for it. Sitting in here, you can't do anything about that. But sitting in here, your outside Viet is hurting and hurting things and has the potential to keep doing it. That seems like the biggest thing you're worried about. So don't wish for it, work for it. You can do it, Viet.
Fight.
Fight.
It's a good day.
This is your fight song, Biet.
Pick back
Hey,
your
did anyone
life
else
song.
hear it? Did anyone hear it? You know?
I did. I did.
Okay.
I will. And he's just kind of wordless for like.
She's gonna put her hand on
From
his shoulder again.
inside the cottage, you hear the noise of their other, like, few other people inside, and you'll just hear a voice just, "Aye, he's right. The day you quit trying is the day that your mind has die."
I love Mandy so much.
Who was that?
That was my
Sounded
my
handsome
friend.
and strong, whoever that was.
Oh,
And bloody annoying as heck.
he sounds smart.
Oh yeah, there's a apple every now and then and a whole bucket of rotted ones.
Yet you never really lose people. You keep the best parts of them with you. If you're afraid of losing people, it might happen. But hiding from it isn't going to make it not happen.
I think they got a point.
Yes. No.
Are you ready?
Why? Okay.
So Quincy will stand up. He'll walk inside. You'll hear a few other mumbled words, and he'll come out with a pack and armor, and he'll be like, I know, shut up," and slam the door. You're keeping your bloody pants on. Right.
I finally got pants
Hand
that
you-
fit.
Well, we'll have to deal with that out there. Right now, it's a little snug, and I'm not going to lie. It's becoming, but still, flexibility. And he'll kind of help you really quickly put on all of your armor. And kind of, even if you, in moments, kind of like, it's like he's kind of momming you a little bit. And
armor. What armor is he putting on?
it's just basically you've been wearing like the most comfortable like sweatpants at home in the cottage, and this is more your adventuring gear,
All right. So not armor.
It's
per se.
that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's sorry. Just
He's got my
getting you
shield and
ready.
my so like a heavier tunic and stuff like. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
A hoodie
sorry.
that looks like armor.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he'll adjust and help, and he's like, "All right, I think you're ready." He'll look at you, Callan, and Maven, and Juniper. So, there's a lot to come, and I wish you luck. So, don't do wrong by him, otherwise I'll probably have to find you and I'll kill you. Viet, you do good. You start fixing all of this. You'll be happier for it in the long run.
This is a nice cottage, though.
Hey, it's a good one. Make a better one.
Thank you, Quincy.
Not a problem. And he'll kind of bow his head very deeply. And it was a pleasure to protect you while I could. And he will just deteriorate into leaves. And Viet, you're going to feel like that personality is just deteriorated and is now part of the bigger scheme of things.
Kind of take a step like he's getting hit by a wind all of a sudden.
Mhm.
A big breath. All right.
And behind,
Where are we going now?
as you say that, immediately, all of a sudden, there is a deep, dark forest right behind all of you. like the cottage is by the cliff, and turning around, looking back at the green plains that were there. Now there's just a deep forest with a little trail leading in.
There, I guess.
We're here with you, and we're walking with you the whole way.
All right. You
Yeah.
have my back. I will go in front and protect.
Do.
This looks pretty serious. But hey, if it doesn't challenge you, it won't mean anything to you. You're doing good, Viet.
All right, you all head in. Viet, we'll say because of how that worked and Quincy's releasing his protectiveness over you, now you can make your saves flat.
Okay.
Okay. So I need you to make me a wisdom saving throw.
That would be a 14.
So, as you all go into the deep, dark forest and as start moving in, all of a sudden the landscape very quickly changes. Not enough that you notice as it's doing it, but like suddenly, but it doesn't feel sudden, if that makes sense. It's just all of a sudden it's different. And it's no longer trees. All of a sudden it starts to almost be like overgrown mushrooms and stalagmites. And you start to hear the sounds of whispers. Here, there, a shape moving across, and everyone starts to get that feeling of like needing to pick up the pace. And that kind of prey instinct starts to hit all of you, and you all start moving quicker.
Viet will be
Yet, as you
kind of
look
tapping
around,
on his wooden shield, kind of that
Yep.
same rhythm.
Yep. Everyone
Quietly as
hears
he's going
that.
through.
And as all of a sudden these shapes and whispers and things start moving around, all of a sudden there is a blast of like energy that like just concussive energy that blows apart one of the stalagmites near all of you, and you start running. You dip and dive and go underneath like a little outcropping, and you all take just a minute just to catch your breaths. Yet as you look around, you see Einkill, you see Merdred, and you see Bullhild. Your family. You are being hunted by the mind shatterers. They are here. They're creating illusions. They're all around you. Callan, at the moment, as you all get to this spot, you see Viet's eyes kind of stop looking like that focused Viet you just were dealing with, and you're getting back to the Viet you've seen at times. Frantic, eyes darting, and almost a slight confusion as he looks at you. All of you see this. Callan, just to let you know, you to Viet right now look like Einkill. Maven, you look like Mardred. And Juniper, you look like Bullhild. For context, for who those people are, Mordred is Viet's sister. Juniper, you're his second cousin. And you, Callan, are also his second cousin. But ironically, you've been called Einkill by him before. And so as kind of he looks around, he will refer to all of you as such. And Viet, that is what you see at the current moment, is your family as you're being hunted. These are some of the survivors from the initial attack that you have been down in prison with for the last 5 years.
This way, this way, this way. Someone, Ardren, keep an eye on Einkill. Mardred, which way? Mardred, which way?
FYI, you all know that you are not these people. Just for clarification.
Right.
I'm giving you as the player's context. So who he's looking at when you hear the name.
Yes.
He's got to rush over to Einkill, grab Einkill and kind of push him towards Mardern. Hold on to him. He can't go loose again. Mardern, where are we going? Mardred, which way was the plan? Mardred, this is your plan. It's going
I think
bad.
he thinks
They
you're
found us.
Mardrin.
I know. Go
Mardren, hold on to him.
forward. We go forward.
Mardred,
Yeah.
Mardred's plan. Mardren, you hold on to Einkill.
Yeah.
Margaret is Maven.
Yep.
Oh, I thought Mardred was
Bolhild is Juniper.
Bohild.
Him
Sorry.
Bolhild.
Or Bolhild.
Bohild.
Bolhild.
I grab him.
Mardred. Bohild, hold on to Einkill.
Yeah, we keep moving forward.
I'm assuming by you're pushing me around and calling me Einkill that
Another
I'm Einkill.
explosion of energy slams next to you.
I'm pulling the closest person near me, and I'm running. Who's
What
closest to me?
So this is
All of them. You're all huddled very close.
Okay. I put my hands out. I grab Viet and I grab
He's gonna
June,
start
who's
pushing
holding
them
on
and
to Callan.
pushing Mardred and pushing the three of them. He's going to be kind of pulling up the rear. Hurry, we need to
Remember,
go.
This can't physically hurt us.
We know that he doesn't.
I know.
we do know that.
You hear the sounds of these like chattering, like insect clacking and almost like hyena laughing coming closer from multiple
I hope.
directions.
I mean, it can destroy our minds, not our bodies.
So why don't we want to let Einkill go?
Einkill he does not follow rules. He'll get us all killed.
Again,
This is canon, by the way. This is canon who these people are.
Wow.
yeah, but
Einkill.
why?
Did you have those explosives ready?
Oh, do I ever?
Bohild, don't let him light it before we're ready.
Callan,
Why
make
not
me a
also-
wisdom saving throw.
Mardred, we need to
Move?
move. Where's
Yeah.
our next
Yep.
move?
We're moving.
It's Juniper. It's June.
Viet, make a wisdom save.
Flat?
A Juniper, make
12.
a persuasion.
I'm not good at that. I'm not
A
terrible at
10
that.
wisdom save.
You kind of start trying to like explosive, like, okay. Yeah, and you start to like think about it, and for a second you almost feel like there might be a pack at your side, and you almost start to feel a little shorter, a little bit more dwarfy.
No.
But suddenly you're back to you, and then all of a sudden, boom! You have the beard that you have in real life, Mick, and you have this pack next to you. You are Einkill, and you are a demolitions expert. You're the wild card, baby.
Oh God. 18 was the persuasion.
Viet, you start to see Bolhild, and you all of a sudden start to see almost like this mirage of Juniper bleeding in.
Like a double exposure on a photograph.
Yeah. And you recognize Juniper.
Juniper,
And it's
you
almost
should not
like-
be here. This is a bad place.
Yeah.
Mardred, where are we going?
We're getting out of here, and we're gonna set the explosives. Maven's running with it because she doesn't.
Yeah, Maven, roll me a wisdom save.
Yeah.
As you all start to like
Did somebody say set the explosives?
That's a 6.
6. Maven, you're
Oh, no.
Mardred.
Yep.
Mardred is you're Viet's sister. You have been down in this prison and being mentally
Oh my
tortured
gosh.
and all that for the last 5 years. You are the logistics expert for the expeditions that your family goes on, and you're adventuring, deep diving into caverns and old ruins, looking for sellable antiquities and all kinds of things. You are typically kind of the navigator and always has a plan, even when you know you don't have one. But you know what? It's better to have a plan, even if you don't. Charismatic, spunky, go-getter kind of gal.
So it's just me. Okay, we love. We're typecast.
Hey, perfect.
With the beard.
I mean, you are that, old from the back in the, what's her name?
Rosie, the Riveter.
Rosie
Yeah.
the Riveter.
Rosie the
Rosie the
Riveter.
Riveter.
Yes.
Yep.
Do it. All right.
I still have like all of my own items and everything, right?
Yep. 100%. Yep.
Cool.
You're you.
I'm gonna take out I don't know, some sort of object. What do I have in here?
So
gonna
as
take
you're
out-
starting to look for an object,
Yeah.
Mardred just grabs everyone, is like, this way, and just starts to
Mhm.
charge
No.
forward because she has a plan.
I sure
Uh,
do.
Yet you're slightly confused. Callan, you are kind of in between because right now Juniper does have her hands on you, but there's no, like, she's starting to let go and starting to root around in her own person. You're free for your own devices. And Viet is slightly confused in this moment, looking at Juniper / Bullhilt. I should have
I'm gonna
picked a
dig out
different
my
family
mace.
member that had a better name.
Well, I'm gonna dig out my mace.
Bullhilt.
I'm gonna cast light.
Okay.
Light on my mace.
Yeah. So this starts to kind of get rid of the rest of Bullhilt's mirage image as Juniper kind of solidifies in this moment, Viet. And you know who that is. But
Juniper,
at the
you
same
must come
time,
with us.
there's no reason she should be here,
You're in the wrong place at the wrong time. You should, but come with us. We will save. We will be safe. Let's go.
No, Viet, we're
We
not.
have to keep an
here.
eye on Einkill.
This is not Einkill. This is
And
Talon.
Kill's doing just fine.
Talon.
All good, Viet.
Talon, you have to keep your head.
Oh yes, Viet. That reminds
Roll a
me.
persuasion, Juniper, by the way.
No, I'm so bad at it. Actually,
No, keep talking.
That's a 2.
There, Einkill.
Juniper is right. What controls your mind controls your life.
it was a 2. It was a 2.
Oh yeah, you 100% didn't say that. You're Einkill right now. You've absorbed into the reality. It's bled on.
I mean, that's not out of character for something Einkill would just randomly yell out anyway. But
Okay, fair. Then I'll allow it. If
nobody wants to be inside Einkill, as bad as Viet's reality is. Nobody wants to be inside Einkill's reality.
It's scary in here.
And he's
Come
totally
on,
letting
Viet.
it control.
Time to be brave enough to be bad at something new.
No, God, Maven, help! Maven, help me!
I don't know who you think you're talking to.
No, you all have to keep it together.
There's explosives
And we
over
have
here,
to
though.
Keep moving. Let's go, everyone.
Maven, or
Yeah.
rather, Mardred,
Thank
would
you.
you roll me another wisdom saving throw? You as well, Einkill. Viet, you can with advantage because there's some weird context of conversation happening.
23.
13.
13,
15.
15.
15.
Hers
Maven?
was 23.
I got a 23.
Okay.
Because I'm awesome.
As Maven and Viet, Viet right on the edge. For Viet, it starts to solidify more, and you seeing that, like, why would you call Margaret Maven? And you start to see that double image, Maven. You start to come back to yourself, and you just like when you saw the cottage, you like that how this reality can pull you in.
Whoa, let's get out of here.
Einkill. Like no one has like stopped you from lighting demolitions yet, and you still do have a bag of makeshift, bombs. And like people are wasting time, and there is still like you can hear all the whispers, the chattering. It's getting closer from multiple directions. A mushroom just got hit in the stalk and is falling down next to all of you. They're not taking this seriously.
Is like the cottage still behind us and stuff?
Oh, you're so deep and gone
Okay.
for that.
All right.
Maven, you, Juniper, you're and Viet, you're realizing things are different. Einkill is Callan. Callan is Einkill.
Okay, I've got them ready. Tell me where to throw them.
No, Callan, no. Callan.
Who let go of him?
Was that me? I think that was me.
Yeah,
Callan, she'll
Well,
take
what's the
him
point
and,
of putting explosives in my hand if you ain't gonna let me go with them?
She's gonna physically shake Callan.
Oh, I want to
roll
slap
me
him.
in.
Cool.
Can I
Roll
slap
me an
him?
intimidation check. Do you want to slap him?
Yeah, I want to slap him.
All right. You can either.
Intimidation.
As an
It's either
assist.
stop. There's either
Sorry.
an intimidation with advantage, or there's an attack with advantage.
Intimidation.
All right. So roll intimidation, Juniper, with advantage,
With advantage.
and you can choose
Okay.
either using your strength modifier or
Oh.
your charisma, because there's some physical stuff happening here.
I'm
Oh,
definitely
you're
gonna
so
use my strength modifier.
Okay.
So it was a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Callan,
Mm-hmm.
roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Because she literally said, Callan Den, you fool.
3.
Oh god.
She just slapped the Einkill out of you. And like literally like the ghost drops out and you're like, there's demo. Oh, whoa.
Wait, I'm not like holding a bomb with a still lit fuse.
No,
in my
that
hand.
drained away too. The illusion, your belief in it is gone. So you're holding like
A rock.
yeah, a rock.
Yeah, we'll
for a
slap that
second
out of
there, I
his hand
probably
just in case.
thought it was a bomb that was still lit, and I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. Oh,
Are you?
I wasn't helping, was I?
Brother.
Viet grabs the rock
No.
and throws it just in case.
Viet, it's
Roll me an
Callan.
athletics check, Fiat.
14.
14. Not that far away, all of a sudden there is a giant explosion, and just you can all feel a little of the concussion because somebody believed in enough to need to throw it.
Okay. Let's not do
And-
that.
I want to
Oof.
believe in some rocks.
Hmm.
The chattering is getting louder. There's
None of
more
you are supposed to
destruction
be
happening
here.
around.
No, none of
We
this
need to
is
go.
real.
We need to go. This way.
No.
This way. I think it's
Yes.
this way.
But wait, none of this
Start
is real. We
tugging
don't
on
need to.
Somebody's
Yeah,
arm.
we don't need to run yet. None of this is real.
They will kill us. They will take us over and make us see things that are not here. And then we might kill each other. I might kill you again.
No, you're in control.
Yeah. We
Take
got
a good
this.
look at yourself, Viet. You've got it.
He will take a deep breath and he'll step in front of them towards wherever the chattering is coming from.
And he'll put her
Okay.
hand on his
Placing
shoulder.
himself between them and whatever's coming at them.
All right. So as you all stand there, suddenly all of you kind of, as Viet stands and kind of half shielding, half facing, you see a person, a humanoid figure in the shadows, step just enough from some of the luminescence from some of the mushrooms and things that are growing on the stalagmites. And you'll see what looks to be like a person at first. And then you'll see another one off to the left and another one. And they all have smooth, kind of shiny heads. And they all look to be draped in like a leather cloak. And they all seem to like almost wet, stringy looking hair. And then as they get a little bit closer, one of them steps forward, and you can see now the distance isn't that far. And so you thought they were further away, but they're like 7 feet tall. And they open up this like cloak, and it is these wings, leathery wings that open up that are connected to like insectoid almost kind of pincers that have hands at the end of them. And the shining kind of wet looking skin opens up, and underneath you can see a like quad, like think predator mouth, open up with like mandibles, and has long stringy tendrils of hair, and points up at all of you with one of its hands. It has another set of hands, and all of you need to make a wisdom saving throw as this concussive energy gets blasted at all of you. At this point, you have advantage because you're all actually here and realizing,
Viet has advantage as well.
Everybody does. You're all
23, baby.
attuned enough,
Jesus.
and because
That's 2
23 for
sixes.
Maven,
2 6s plus 2 is 8.
8. Callan,
11 for Callan.
Juniper,
17.
17. Okay. In front of you, you're going to see Viet kind of grabbing a shield off his back and trying to bring it in front, but it is all this psychic energy that slams into him, and you see him blown apart. Callan, you are right behind him, and it all of a sudden slams into you, and you fly backwards and land in the grass. And there's a fire next to you from a campfire. There is a hut that's on fire. You hear horses running around in the distance. You hear people screaming. You hear people being slaughtered. You start to come to your feet, but you're on smaller, shakier legs.
Oh no. Oh.
You start to run in a frantic as this teenager of a woman, maybe 13, comes up and grabs you, and you recognize Brumke, and she's like, come on, we gotta go, and starts pulling you towards some of your other siblings.
Whoa. Where's everybody?
You see your entire tribe being slaughtered by these hooded figures. She pulls you into some bushes, tells you to wait there. She's going to try to find others, and she leaves. You're all huddled together. You see Murdet. You see Alvarilos. You see, and then all of a sudden, there is a boom and a landing of something large and something covered in fire. As all of a sudden, this hooded figure rides forward through the fire on a horse, and you remember seeing this hooded figure who slaughtered so many of your tribe as you were hiding there with your siblings. And in the light of the fire, all of a sudden you're standing next and above yourself, looking down, and this almost frozen moment. And you can kind of half out of body move around. And as you move and circle, you're drawn towards the rider. The one who ruined everything. And as you see the firelight as you're coming closer, you see an older man in a hood. Scar on his cheek, gray hair, and he recognized Zazozan. And not too far away, on a horse nearby, you also see Dagnar.
Can I tell how real that is?
Roll me I'd say an insight check is worthwhile.
16.
As you have been exploring the trauma of someone else, you have uncovered a concrete memory of your own that you never remembered. You saw the face of the man or the thing that changed the entire direction of your life. As you stare at Zazozan.
Can I strike this rider in this vision?
As you kind of instinctually just kind of leap forward to try to punch, strangle, all of a sudden you all fall to the ground. Except you, Viet, for this moment. And you're outside of a burned farmhouse. It's probably been burnt a couple days at this point. You look around, Callan, you look around, see Maven, who still has a little bit of a reflexive look of like that blast incoming, same as Juniper. And you see an old woman kind of poking around in the ruins of this building that is burned to the ground. She is a tiefling woman, albino tiefling with white hair with pink tips. On her horn, she's got all kinds of like little trinkets and stuff like that. And she is wearing the most like travel worn, but still bright enough that kind of like the most colorful kind of gypsy-ish feeling to her. But she's elderly for sure. And she's kind of poking around the fire, looking underneath things, seeing what she can find. Not too far away, you see some graves that look like they have been freshly dug. And they're not too far away as you kind of all look and you see little makeshift like headstones, and each one has a name on them. There's Molly, there's Rashomon, there's Bishop, and there's Gret. This is where you three are right now.
Who are you talking to the woman?
A little startled. She's like, "Oh, I did not hear anyone come up behind me. Where did you come from? May I ask?"
We came from a vision deep within a friend's head by way of a desert, by way of blue arm magic teleportation.
You see her make like a claw motion and like almost throw it away, and then pull out a small flask, take a sip, and like put it on like cologne. Almost, she's like, "All right, spirits. This is not my first time dealing with your kind. Why have you come to bother me? I am just trying to make my way in the world.
There was a grenade made out of a rock thrown by giant winged people, and then we were
Oh my goodness.
here by your farmhouse. Who?
Oh, no,
Name
not
yourself,
mine.
please.
Well, my name is not important, to be honest. I travel. I do.
Name your title.
Keep to myself. Whose? Mine? Which?
Your title. Don't
Are
give
you
me
the
a
witch
name.
woman?
Give me a title. What do you do if you won't tell me who you are?
Fortune teller in trade. How about that?
Are you the witch woman?
Which woman?
Woman?
Which woman?
Witch woman.
Why? Who?
Have you met a dwarf recently? About this tall, long beard, trinkets all in it.
Sweetie,
beads.
that's describing quite a few
His
dwarfs.
mother was
about this
naming him
tall
Viet.
with beard. No, I have not met a man named Viet whose mother named him so.
What do you mean by that?
That's an odd qualifier. Have
Did
you
you
met a
name him
dwarf
that?
named Viet at all?
I have named no one ever. No children that I have born. And as for your question, your spirits, I feel weird about being committed to any answer, provided you could curse me upon the answer that you don't like.
I
And
might
she
curse
just
you if
takes
you don't
another
give
sip
me
of this vial.
Promise not to curse you. Will you tell me the answer?
Correct. All spirits who could curse you would say that.
I was gonna say I don't promise that. Don't listen to her.
She's at least honest.
Yeah, I will. You know, what is it you desire? Classic devil's deal. What is it you desire?
Not a demon. What are you doing?
I'm
Juniper says that. Like, what are you doing? You are not a demon. What are you
not
doing?
yet. Not yet.
Ghosts of Christmas past, present, and future, but they all show up and they're bickering.
They all show at the same time bickering.
Yeah, as you're doing this, Callan, you'll notice, like, just in the distance, you can see the figure of someone coming over a hill on a road traveling this direction.
Oh, maybe this is one of those wonky timey-wimey things.
Shit. Whoa, sorry. Brain happened. I had a memory of a previous episode that did not happen in the game. Had a brain blast. Oh god, I'm so sorry. Okay, hey,
Is there a
Lady?
reason?
lady,
Spirits?
you won't tell me your name. I have a message for you then. If
I'm all
you,
ears.
yes,
for
if
the
we
spirit
promise
world.
not to do you any harm, will you pass this message along?
Of course.
Thank you. There is a dwarf named Viet, short, trinkets in his beard, blue hand. He, shit, how do I want to say this? I look over at Callan. I'm like, Callan,
He's lost.
I know not how you want to say things.
I know, but she's the woman. She's the woman.
Which woman?
This woman.
Yes, the
You,
witch woman.
you are the woman.
You're the witch woman.
You're the witch woman, and he's going to meet us, and he needs to be looking out for us when he sees us. You need to tell him there will be a fool. Help me, someone. I don't know how to do this.
Yeah.
He keeps calling me the hanged fool for some reason. I don't get it.
Yeah, and
Okay.
I'm. You go.
The Amanita?
Yeah, but that's
The
me.
Lady
Yeah,
of Thorns?
but yeah. Lady of
That's what he
Thorns,
calls
corpse,
you.
dead flowers. Yeah, that's me. He's gonna meet us, and oh, okay. Do you tell fortunes?
I have already explained I am a fortune teller.
Please
Can you
read our
tell mine?
fortune.
Read your, all right. Roll me a persuasion.
Okay. I'm gonna use an inspiration point.
That good, huh?
17.
17. You see her kind of look real, and she makes a couple other gestures. I feel uncomfortable trying to read the fortune of the spirits who are supposed to help me read the fortunes of the living. It feels very, I appreciate as I heard, a mother who named a dwarf named Viet with a blue hand. There's a fool and a corpsed flower, and like all good and great. I'm sorry, I can't read your. I'm
Could you
not
read
that
his?
kind. I suppose if the spirits require.
We do.
We do.
Me too. And he's meant to find, what is it? Hanged fool,
Mm-hmm. And Lady of Vines
Lady of Vines.
or Thorns. Lady of Thorns. I knew it.
That's the one.
And she'll look at you, Juniper, and just be like, any other requests?
Well, I think that was
And
part of it.
tell him if you can't look at yourself and find the strength to move on, look harder.
I might, if the spirits do not mind, I might spruce that up a smidge.
Sure.
Please,
Just a
yeah.
little more cryptic.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be. Oh, I wish Mertimo was here. He could write some good stuff. He'd have some good material.
Tell him he
Right,
has the strength.
What was that?
Tell him he has the strength.
All right. I will be. All of a sudden, you hear a snap, and she's like, "Oh, dinner. I have squirrel trap. I'm going to cook. I will look for your friend.
He'll find you. I know he will.
Leave me alone."
No. Tell him he's the best around. Nothing's gonna ever get him down.
And
I
say you
get
like
it.
his
You'll
beard.
never give him up. Never let him down.
Never gonna run around and hurt him.
Mm-mm.
Chris is gone. So you see her kind of go off and grab a squirrel, and she quickly just like shoves a stick through and like rips out the guts, and then with fur and all just on there and starts cooking it.
They're so easy to skin. Why wouldn't you just skin it?
And then you start to see Viet come into view and see this tiefling woman. And you see her kind of looking at all of you and like kind of just like, all right, go away. Like,
Oh, yeah.
you're ruining
Yep.
the vibe.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm out.
And she starts poking at the thing, and Viet comes up and excuse me, and it's like bad acting, but like and starts to talk about if he knows the path he's supposed to be walking, and does he want to know his path, and offers to read his fortune. Viet seems to be kind of hesitant, but also still weirded out enough that he's just into it. She, like, every now and then, like, looks around in these grand gestures and just in these arcing moves looks at you as
Like-
and she's just like
trying to get us to go away.
and starts to like have Viet draw cards, and she pulls out the Wheel of Fortune card and the Death card and the Tower of Obsidian and what?
I just nothing. Go on.
It's a bingo.
Okay.
It's a bingo square. Go. It's okay.
Oh no, that's not what I meant.
Then talking about the present, she has him draw some more cards, talks about the hermit, and offers a compass needle that is hanging from one of her horns, and then the traveler's card and the shadow that follows behind and maybe means ill intentions, maybe not, and offers a crow's foot that's been hanging from one of her horns. And then the future cards. And at this part, she seems a little hesitant, a little weird. And you can, Callan, especially you see a card dealer like shuffle the deck weird and like do an extra cut and like all that. And all of a sudden, like she purposely, like you see, like takes a little like this like fat from like there's still a little of the guts and like put it between two cards, and he draws ironically some of those cards. And talking of the Lady of Vines and talking about the Fool, but oh wait, there's two cards stuck together, a Hanged Fool. And then the last card she pulls out, suddenly she reacts as the fire flares up and some wind blows, and you see her kind of throw the rest of the cards over her shoulder as the wind's going, and just this dramatic thing, and lights the card on fire. And Viet, for a moment, you can see his eyes look back as he sees the card burning, seeing some image on it that he's uncomfortable with. And she makes some warding gestures as well, offering the raven's feather, and takes another drink of her water and puts a little on each side, and then basically offers it to him. He's like, oh, keep that. As this big flourish and everything's happening, they're locked in conversation, Juniper. You'll see there is a card that's actually kind of stuck. It's blown itself underneath your foot, and you bend down to grab it, pull it up. And there are two cards there, and you open them up and kind of look, and the first one you see is death.
Okay.
And for a moment, you remember waking up inside of a coffin, or more of a mausoleum kind of, you know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And remember frantically for a moment, not understanding what's going on, and then that burst of sunlight as you look at the second card, and you're back there, and you see the second card, which is the High Priestess. And she is holding a sun aloft in her hands.
Can I tuck those cards in my pack?
Yeah, you can. Absolutely. And suddenly you are like, as you kind of do that and put it in your pack, when you look back up, you're back in Dragonlock, and you are hiding. You've snuck out. You've been looking around to find out what's been going on with all those kind of kids that were in your care. And you see this congregation of the undead, and you see those heroes, once the protectors of this land, now seeming to be bowing and looking up at the one figure with the shadow of a dragon. And you see the dark mantle there kneeling. You see the Magi. You see Shale. You see Melting Point. And that horror of seeing these protectors now bowing to obviously the one who's commanding this undead army. And suddenly you have also that out of body feeling as you're kind of looking over your hiding spot from a different perspective. And you still feel your own body, but you're just kind of looking at it from like that third person view. And you can feel at your hip something vibrating, something wanting to be unleashed.
I'm gonna grab it, take it.
You put your hand on it, and it is the sword. Your family's, the one heirloom you recovered from your home that was ruined. Shaking and quivering. And then you look above where you're hiding in this little alcove, and standing directly above you, maybe 6-7 feet away, you see the Swiftblade, one of the other older heroes from a generation ago almost. Standing there, and a sheath on his hip that is empty, and he is staring down straight at you. And he must have been there the whole time watching you. And you see those green glowing eyes staring down at you as you watched over this crowd.
And not doing anything?
Just watching.
Watching.
For reference, the Swiftblade, imagine kind of a breastplate Zorro. Instead of black mask, silver mask, you know?
Yeah. Gosh. Like 6 feet away?
Directly above you. Like imagine being in the sewer tunnel, and he's standing on the street directly above you, looking straight down at you.
And I'm having like sort of an out of body experience, I guess.
Yeah, you're looking at yourself and then looking up, watching the figure looking down at you. Right. Not you who are watching, you who was there. That's so like confusing. That person watched you as you were there.
Yeah. I don't think she would know what to feel about that. Can I turn around?
Yeah, you can turn around. Okay. You're watching a memory of yourself replay out. You are the spectator. Are you asking if you can turn your physical self around, or the spectator?
The spectator.
Yeah. You see the crowd of the undead army and all the heroes, Dark Mantle, the Magi, worshiping Zazozan as he talked to his undead horde.
Okay.
And then you turn back around and see yourself in that little sewer tunnel, and above you on the street, looking down, watching you, is the Swiftblade. Standing there, cloak kind of back, breastplate shining in the moon light, with an empty sheath on his hip.
Can my physical self do anything? Like, can I like take this sword that's vibrating and like
sure
try to use it? I don't know how.
Roll me a wisdom saving throw.
I don't know how to use a sword. It's not good. 6. No. Yeah. 13.
13. As you
Yeah.
grab it, all of a sudden you feel this memory split and turn, and it stop being what you remember and start to feel like that simulation again. As all of a sudden the eyes of Swiftblade looks up straight at you, who's watching this play out, and you see him reach out a hand and the blade comes to his hand. And then you are back to yourself. And all of you are in a prison cell. It's dark. It's dank. There is almost no light except from a slight glow that kind of arcs through the bars of this cell. And it's so dark. It's kind of is a physical shock. As you all, the only thing you can hear is droplets of water in a rhythm. Drip,
Oh.
drip, 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 drip. And in the corner, you see a huddled up Viet, just in rags. And I apologize. You can all keep going. I'm going to use the bathroom, but I can hear you. I apologize. We're going long, and I can't hold it.
Fair.
June's gonna go to him and like kneel down next to him and gently just Fiat.
This
He'd probably roll to his feet, ready to punch.
And she's just gonna kind of defensive, like no weapons or anything, just Fiat.
what is going on? This is where it all started for Viet, isn't it?
Yes, this is the prison. Juniper and Callan hanged fool and Maven, Amanita, Lady of Thorns, corpse, dead flower. You are not supposed to be here.
I think we are.
You do not belong here. You should not be here.
belong-
You did not do
No.
anything to deserve being here.
Neither
We're
does
here
Viet.
because we need to see what we're seeing. There's no other explanation for it. So now we need to see this.
It is
We
not
told you
right
we'd
for you to
walk with
be
you.
here.
We'd walk with you this whole way. I told you we would. That's why we're here.
But you should not be here. This is a bad place. This is you do not belong here.
We can handle it.
We are here. Now let's make it meaningful.
Let's
Let's make it mean something.
Check my bag. Is that sword still in there? Like I wanna
Oh, you go. Yeah, your sword's there.
oh, okay. I am gonna pull it out and just be like, oh, okay.
It is the sword you have. Yeah, it's with you.
I'm gonna cast light on it. I'm gonna make a
The
glowing sword.
blade just shines into a bright light. Ever present, though, is still that drip, 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 drip.
That's
And
what
there's a
that's
small
what put you over the
pool
edge,
of water.
wasn't it?
You know, it might have been looking, 2020 hindsight. It was just like a small puddle of water. Like, nope, I can't wait. I did it to myself, I guess. I mean, that or the 2 energy drinks in 2 hours.
That's probably more, yeah. Mhm. Anybody have any experience with breaking out of a cell? Or can we just imagine the bars away? Try.
Yeah, I think
Do
we
I
can
have
just.
my crowbar. It would be wishing for his crowbar.
Roll me a wisdom saving throw with advantage, because I feel like there's a lot of energy trying to help you.
With advantage is a dirty 20.
Oof,
Yeah, you don't even have to look for it as you kind of like half think of it, and you just kind of as if you had pulled it from where you normally keep it. It's just there it is with Manny's horn inlaid into it.
Today will be a good day. And he goes to the bars of the prison, and he will try to bend and put everything he has into breaking that door.
Can I help
You helping?
if he'll let me?
Me
Is
too.
everybody helping?
Yes.
It will grow longer into a large pry bar using
Perfect.
the charge
Okay.
for the
Plenty of room for everyone to grab on, and almost like, you know, a knife through warm butter, just as everybody puts their hands on and works together, the entire bar structure just breaks apart and turns into glittering coins. And then all of a sudden you hear do 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 do, and from the ground, all of a sudden a chest pops up,
Yes.
and you hear a winner.
Oh my god. Of course Seely did this.
Our princess is in another castle.
What's in I'm gonna open this here box. What's in this here box? Is there anything good in there?
Yet,
Yet?
oh
I think
inside
that's
the oh
for
you're
you.
asking me if there's something inside the box.
We think it's for you.
Yeah.
So as what the hell would be in the box?
What's in
What's in the box? What's in the box?
The anticipation's
just-
killing me. Open the
It's just glowing. We just open it up and it's glowing and it's so beautiful.
Yeah, you open it up and you reach in, yeah, and there's just that light on your face, and
Very Pulp Fiction.
and that's where no, as you pull out a key, and as you pull out this key, all of a sudden you hear you have unlocked the power of self-exploration,
God.
level 1,
Oh my god.
and all of a sudden, all of you just and you're all in the desert. And you all kind of take off your helmets and just like,
yeah, rip it off.
Viet can't see anything.
Whoa.
yeah, you're I'm still in the dark.
Oh, with his manacles.
Yeah. And Murdet will be there, and he'll help kind of each of you kind of get the gloves off. And how we all doing? As he helps you, Viet, with the last part, getting everything off.
Is Seely still there?
Seely is not.
Typical. Oh, typical.
Viet
Am
will,
I still holding my sword that's lit up?
No,
Oh.
I mean you like he helped you take the glove off. When you came to, you were
Oh.
in with the glove. You were like,
I gotta learn how to use a sword.
Viet will kind of pat Murdet and then pinch him.
"Ow."
I can
Yeah,
teach
looks
you,
to everybody.
Juniper.
Are you?
You can?
Yeah.
Am I real? Yeah.
You're looking real to me at the moment. I will try to do better, Murdet.
I mean,
What are you feeling?
It is very heavy, but Viet is strong.
You don't have to
With-
carry
with-
it alone.
With you all, Viet will be stronger.
I gotta be honest. That sounds like the best outcome that I could have heard. And he'll like pull out a key and just unlock your manacles. He's like, "I am sorry for doing that.
It was all right.
It was neat. Good.
Did you find my hammer?
I did. I did. Yeah, I had time.
And
It's
Viet will
been a
take
couple hours.
big deep breath. This thing is stinking. We should get moving.
I'm gonna can I just do a little cantrip decompose on that puppy?
Wait, though. Can I try to find the pheromone glands?
Yeah.
Do you
Roll me a
want
medicine
that?
check. Are you trained? No, disadvantage because you don't know this.
I have the book.
Species
I have the
that talks
biology
of
book.
humans.
Humans don't have a pheromone gland.
Yes,
Yeah.
we probably
Where
do.
is that located specifically?
7.
7.
Oh, no.
You got
kind
something.
Yeah.
That's something.
At a certain point, you do hold up this little, like, fleshy pocket of something. You're like, this is it.
Okay.
Did he put it on his face?
I'm gonna
No,
squeeze
that was
that.
me.
I'm gonna squeeze that into an empty bottle and keep it.
Smells so bad.
Ugh.
Yeah. That has to be the pheromone thing.
Juniper, that's the right, huh? He's like, no, this is the good stuff. It's potent.
Yeah. So I was thinking, it's a bug thing, right? And it's got this pheromone thing, like they mentioned. So I look for a pheromone gland. Like Murdet said, they connected to a hive mind, so, like a hive mind, like a hive, like bees. So was this like the queen bee? And then since Maven killed it, maybe Maven could be the new queen bee, and if maybe this can help.
I mean, I do
that's
have
what
the
I was
spear.
thinking.
I have the
mean,
spear.
If anybody could be
maybe.
I don't think I want to take a chance fighting more than one of those things that turned our friends against us. I hurt really bad a lot. I hurt a lot. I got hit a couple times.
I think we need to rest, but first we need to get the hell away from here.
Mhm.
Okay.
Is
How are we
Viet's
getting
hand
back to
still blue?
monastery?
We're
My hand still
not
We're
blue?
going to Beacon.
Yeah.
Your hand is still blue?
Is my hand still blue?
Yeah. Don't mess with your hand, man.
I heard
Alright.
Celie say we needed a key. Looks like you have a key. And then Beacon. As crazy as her sequence was, I think I put it together.
It
Now
wasn't
that we have
clear.
the key. It's absolutely clear.
Yeah.
Why
Me
would a
and
leech?
Celie are like this.
Why would
I
a leech have
understand
a
her.
key? I didn't pick up any
Oh, hey.
leeches.
His mother was naming him Leech.
His mother, Callan's mother, was naming him Leech.
Leech's
Yep.
mother.
Leech is who is? There is a leech
Don't
named.
know.
So the leeches are naming each other now.
There is a goblin who's really good at alchemy and such, named Leech.
And he
And
has
he
the
has
key.
a mother.
You're sure he has mother? Yes.
I think that's how it works with
Well,
goblins.
usually do.
Yeah.
I thought they laid eggs.
Who knows, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Does this sound like a very easily followable and coherent thought process, or does this feel a little hinky?
For Viet,
No, in
you're
general.
ask. Is Murdet asking this, or is the DM asking? This?
I am for your
Which one are
Does
you?
this sound
Who are you?
weird to
Show me
Viet?
your eyes.
show me your eyes. I am the DM.
Okay, in your DM hat. No, this doesn't sound right at all. But right,
All right.
Viet's
So
maybe
as
confused.
You're feeling that way, and you start to go into your beard.
Mhm.
In the middle, if you look at your picture, how you have the beautiful 3 braids.
Yeah.
In the middle, tied into it, there's a key that just
Okay.
feels more real,
Okay.
more grounded to reality, that you feel there, that you don't remember ever tying it in, but it's there. Same shape and everything that you just found.
All right.
You've taken the first steps in whatever Viet looks like as a person down the road. And as you all kind of gather your things to start getting moving in some capacity, because everyone kind of half agrees, at least majority rule of like, we don't camp right here next to Bobby.
Yeah.
Um,
Mm-mm.
And you all start moving. And as you kind of quickly gather your things and come back together, Juniper, you will notice there are 2 cards in your pack.
Mhm. Are they
2
the same
tarot
two?
cards. They are.
Okay.
And
That part was real.
you all start heading out, and the camera pulls back over the dark, moonlit desert with a horde of creatures coming in the distance. No. As it pulls back. And that is where we're going to leave our adventurers this week. So thank you, everybody. We went a little long who has been with us. Hello, future people. Hopefully this was a fun roller coaster ride of everything.
It's like 20 roller coasters in one.
So join us next week for another roller coaster ride of exploration into someone else's past. Otherwise, if you don't, happy Thanksgiving. But have a great week. I'm DM Scott. With me as always,
Killian.
And Mick.
Chris.
And Catherine.
have a great week.
Toodaloo.
Night. Thank you.